Hunter Biden has been having many interesting conversations lately on many podcasts, and he recently sat down on Chris Williamson's podcast with Matt McCusker and Duncan Trussell, where he tried to talk some sense into them. Although the whole conversation felt like I was watching the MAGA bros doing everything they can to disparage Hunter Biden came out on top every time. It couldn't have been more obvious that the three of them were trying to make Hunter look bad and feel ashamed of his past, but thankfully Hunter is no wilting flower, and so he handled things like a boss. Take a look.
Hunter, may I ask you it's a personal question. It's something I think people are curious about.
Yeah.
Why did you take all those pictures? Like, I understand you were like smoking crack. What? Yeah, you look great. But like, what? But why? No. When I'm like on a bender, the last thing I want is like snapping shots.
Go look at. Here's the thing: is the truth. Go look at the pictures. Is that most of the pictures that you see, I didn't take.
Who took them?
I'm asleep. Like one of those always that's shown all the time over and over again is me with a meth pipe in my mouth sleeping.
Who sleeps with that? I was curious about that too. I always thought when you smoke meth, you can't
I never
fall
smoked.
asleep.
I didn't. I wasn't a meth smoker. I hate meth.
But how did the
You're
pipe?
just trying to be cool with the meth pipe. No.
Okay, I get that. I get that.
Exactly. No, it is not cool to have a meth pipe in your mouth. It's much cooler.
How did you fall asleep? Did they put it in your mouth, or how did you fall asleep with them? They put it in your mouth.
I was asleep. Somebody took their meth pipe, put it next to me, and took a picture, and then put it online. And they then collected all of this stuff. Go back and look at the pictures. Now, there's some that are like me. There's some. The sex tapes are real. I took them. That was me.
Yeah, for sure.
And
that's
I'll tell you
confidence.
Why would they take these pictures?
But by the way, here's the reason. So I was out of my fucking mind.
Right.
I mean, just out of my mind. You're so alone. There's nothing even remotely romantic about it. I don't talk about how I make crack to romanticize it. All of that I talk about is addiction. And the whole reason to do any of this, there's 50 million people right now in America, and I think it's way more. 50 million people are dealing with their own problems and their struggles with addiction, which means that everybody at this table undoubtedly has someone that they care deeply about that has dealt with or is dealing with a life-threatening addiction.
So first of all, Duncan Trussell has become an absolute loser shill for the right, and I no longer believe absolutely anything he says. Every word out of his mouth is motivated by propaganda, and it's become embarrassing watching him always trying to just muddy the waters and paint everything in a both sides argument. That Duncan can admit the question is personal, yet still ask it to Hunter on a podcast tells you everything you need to know about how vile of a man Duncan is. You don't ask someone a question like this if you're not trying to humiliate or shame them for their prior behavior. And that's clear when Duncan tries to shame Hunter even more by acting like he couldn't possibly relate to Hunter's behavior. But thankfully, Hunter ain't no little bitch. And he knows exactly how to handle this pathetic little question he's used to weasels like Duncan asking him all the time. And I think Hunter handled it gracefully while still being humorous and likable. It's not easy to have your embarrassing behavior be thrown in your face so publicly and without respect to how that would make you feel. But instead of pointing that out, Hunter just handles the question with dignity, perspective, and humility. He turns the discussion into one about the individuals suffering with addiction every day instead of a conversation about himself and how we should all feel bad for him. This is genuine behavior, and it came off as such. He is using his voice for something bigger than himself, and it sucks to watch these adult men around him mocking him. Addiction is not a choice, and no one should be interrogated about behaviors they happen to participate in during their addiction when these behaviors weren't criminal and weren't hurting anyone but themselves. Especially not when these behaviors were documented without Hunter's consent or were meant to be private. In my opinion, only a prick piece of shit would bring up someone's prior addiction behavior in a way like this. And I hope it's obvious to people that Duncan seemed mean-spirited. I loved that Hunter was quick with a joke so he could redirect the rude question away from shaming himself, and he came off humble, which backfired on Duncan spectacularly. If that weren't inappropriate enough, of course, Duncan had even more disrespectful questions for Hunter Biden. Take a look.
Go back. I'm so sorry, and I don't want to seem like a weirdo. I'm just curious. I've always been curious how people film themselves humping. Did you go back and watch yourself humping?
Study the tape.
No.
You never went. It's like when you film fireworks. Nobody goes back and looks at the fireworks.
No.
Yeah. Okay.
But by the way, here's the thing, man. Is that, you know what? Is that, would I do that sober? No. But here, and the other part of it is, but am I the first person to,
freaky tape,
film themselves making
No.
a sex tape?
Nothing wrong with that.
Not even like, I don't know, like why did Tommy Lee and when what's her name do it?
Pam.
Why did I mean, like whatever. And I certainly am not Tommy Lee, but my point is that when you're addicted to crack, it is never look, my drug use can never be an excuse. Okay? Never an excuse for any of the behavior. I'm accountable for all of it. No matter what. It's still me, whether I was out of my fucking mind or not.
You got it.
But it is an explanation.
Sure. Yeah. I love
Duncan is a perfect example of tell me you don't get the pussy wet without telling me you don't get the pussy wet. Because there isn't a woman alive who hasn't at least considered filming something with someone because that man was that good. And if you haven't, it's okay, girl. It's because the men's dick you've had so far are trash. So of course I understand why Lipstick Dick Duncan is confused that anyone might want to film sex. But aside from that, Duncan is also a misogynist, and so he needs to put women down to feel big. So by hating on people for filming adult content consensually, he is also preventing women from having safe ways to participate in the financial benefits of filming adult content. And by acting confused by why Hunter might want to film himself having sex, Duncan is creating a moral judgment of Hunter's behavior, trying to create a divide, and he's trying to make others view the behavior as morally inferior in some way. It's pathetic, insecure misogyny crap said to disparage women for participating in video content while carefully avoiding judging the people who are consuming the video content. And they're all forgetting that Hunter didn't film adult tapes for them to be released and seen by anyone else, just as was the case with Tommy Lee and Pamela Anderson's intimate tape. These were private videos and private moments that were stolen from these people. And yet instead of respecting and understanding that and understanding why people might not want to rehash it, all these assholes just tried to shame him. They can't stop seeing things politically and surface level as Duncan Trussell and Matt McCusker miss the point entirely. They are so focused on disparaging the left they can't even humanize Hunter most of the time. But I respected Hunter for how he handled himself all in all. He could have allowed all the rude questions to fluster him and make him feel bad, but he didn't. For every rude and dumb remark said to him during that conversation, he remained classy and came off truthful still. I felt that Hunter had good intentions to be there, and I feel the guys were more concerned with finding gotcha moments in the things Hunter was saying. But I think because Hunter is such a down-to-earth person, it blew up in their faces and gave Hunter the opportunity to humanize himself more than ever. And I think as Hunter Biden continues to rise, these men might regret the day they ever try to shame him on a podcast, because you cannot shame a truly honest man, something their side knows nothing about. I know it's not that serious, and I appreciate seeing people from opposing political sides sit down and have frank discussions. Plus, I think it's healthy enough so long as we aren't accidentally helping to platform bad ideologies and bad people by giving zero pushback like Joe Rogan. But do you get why I feel it's uncool to ask Hunter Biden why he filmed a private intimate tape, and why it felt like everyone was trying to shame Hunter with those types of questions? Let me know, and thank you so much for watching.